The question some people have, James, and it's a question really of what we can do about it. Do you see evidence that that shy, hidden Trump voter exists the third time around? That, and you kind of talk about this, that, you know, the polling might not capture it. The low propensity voter, the first-time voter, the person that didn't vote in 2020.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, Charlie. You hit the nail on the head. Obviously, like I said, we know that there's sort of the shy Trump voter, or the polling misses some Trump voters because we always overperform what they think. But the real name of the game for us is all those new registrants, all those people that haven't voted before, or maybe have but not in several years, more infrequent voters. Those people are who we've really got to focus on turning out. And obviously, everyone needs to turn out. So if you're somebody that votes in every election, return your ballot right now, please. And if I could make a tactical appeal to the audience, Charlie, the sooner you vote, we get updates, every day from each of the states on who's already cast their ballot. Obviously, we don't know how you voted, but we know whether or not you voted. And when we take those lists back, we can then mark you off the list. We take you out. So then everything we have left, from our paid communications to our field organizing to our door knocking, can focus all of our resources on just the remaining voters. So it actually helps us tactically and helps us be more efficient the sooner you vote. So please go and vote immediately so that we can really just be focused on those people that are newer or haven't done it before and really need some extra help to figure out what their voting options are, and for us to help them have what they need and the information they need to go to the polls. So please get it done early. It's a huge help, lets us be more efficient, and ultimately will result in us being able to turn out more voters by election.
That is exactly right. And I'll tell you, when we're chasing on the ground here in Arizona, once we can cross you off the list, we can stop harassing you, right? We could stop texting you, stop knocking, and it helps us so much on an efficiency of resources standpoint, everybody. And understand, and James, you did this in Florida, in-person early voting is a great option, that you guys can go in person and have that election day experience right now in Arizona. We have dozens of in-person early voting locations, and soon to be every day more and more open up. Can you talk about in-person early voting as well for some people in the audience that might not be on the early voting list? So they might not be getting a ballot, which is a small portion, about 1 in 10 voters, but also they might not feel great about throwing it in the mail. Talk about in-person early voting.
Yeah, if you don't want to vote by mail, that's okay. The fact is, every battleground state has some way to vote in person before Election Day. It varies a little bit state by state, but pretty much everywhere has a significant period of time where you can go cast your ballot in person. Obviously, we're talking about Arizona. Look, we all know from the 2022 general elections that some machines went down and long lines formed while they got them back up in Maricopa County on Election Day in 2022. Avoiding the unforeseen issues like that, avoiding bad weather, long lines, all of those things. The way to do that is to cast your ballot in person. We're going to secure those ballots. We have poll watching going on already. We've got tens of thousands of poll watching shifts scheduled all across the country in every battleground state. We're doing poll watching throughout the whole early voting process. We've got poll workers that have been hired by the system that we've submitted, that we recruited, vetted, trained, and submitted to the states to help with the internal process that, sort of the election supervisors run. So it's safe, it's secure, it helps us tremendously. And again, you want to avoid anything that could come up or go wrong on Election Day that could make it harder or take more time to go vote. So in-person early voting is a great option. We really encourage people to do it. And again, it's available in every state. And you can go to Swamp the Vote USA, look up your voting information, swampthevoteusa.com, and it will give you the options that are available in your state.
swampthevoteusa.com. And guys, look, there could be a hurricane, there could be a snowstorm, God forbid, a terrorist attack. There could be all sorts of disruptions. Your kid could get sick, you could get COVID, flat tire. Go vote early and then get your friend to do the same. So, James, you never know what messaging is really going to hit in a campaign. You throw out all this messaging, and I'm not alone in this. The running of this particular advertisement seems to really be hitting. Joe Scarborough agrees, Charlemagne agrees, that highlighting that Kamala Harris made it a priority so that illegal aliens could get taxpayer-funded transgender surgeries, and then she bragged about it, has just really hit the zeitgeist here. I have at least 5 voters that I know that were like, did she really do that? And it really is a micro example of a macro trend of, oh, she's super woke and I'm not comfortable with that. Let's play cut 13, an excellent ad from the Trump campaign.
He murdered a father of 3, sentenced to life in prison. Kamala Harris pushed to use tax dollars to pay for his sex change.
I made sure that they changed the policy so that every transgender inmate would have access.
It sounds insane because it is insane. Kamala was the first to help pay for a prisoner's sex change.
The power that I had, I used it in a way that was about pushing for the movement, frankly, and the agenda.
Kamala's agenda is they, them, not you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I mean, that is really good stuff. About a minute here, James. Talk about this narrative, and it's an accurate one, that Kamala Harris is not for you. She is for some sort of abstract radical agenda.
Absolutely. I mean, look, it's very straightforward. What that ad does, it paints a very crystal clear picture in her own words of what her priorities are. Her priorities are the extreme liberal, way out of step with the mainstream of this country agenda. And it takes it a step further because it shows, we have all these people in this country that are hurting economically, even if they have jobs, even if they're making a lot of money. Prices are way outstripping real wage growth and have under their entire administration. Savings have gone down 75% to lower than pre-pandemic levels. Credit card debt is through the roof. People are hurting economically, and this politician is more interested in using taxpayer money, which all of us pay for, to fund transgender surgeries for inmates. I mean, talk about, for one, it's a social agenda that, of course, we do not agree with, but more importantly, it's a misuse of taxpayer resources, particularly in the face of people who are hurting. They need help. It just makes it very clear. All of their extreme ideological, far left, liberal pet issues are far more important than delivering value and results for the vast majority of this country. And that's what that ad, I think, makes crystal clear for people. And it shows it in her own words so that she can't hide from it.